When David's mother passed away, the world didn't fall silent. It simply changed its rhythm. The laughter that once danced through their home had turned into a hollow echo, never quite reaching his heart again. Her piano still sat in the corner of the living room, untouched, its keys gathering dust like memories waiting to be remembered. For weeks after her funeral, he couldn't bring himself to enter her room. Every corner breathed her, every object whispered her absence. It wasn't until a grey, rainy Sunday morning, nearly 2 months later, that something inside him gently urged, "It's time." He walked in slowly, his steps heavy with both longing and fear. Her scent, lavender mixed with the faint bitterness of old coffee, lingered in the air, wrapping around him like a ghost of comfort. On her bedside table sat her glasses, her rosary, and her Bible. That same old Bible she had carried through every storm of her life. She used to tell him, "Every answer you'll ever need is written in here." But David never shared her faith. He believed more in what he could see, and death was proof of everything he feared most. He picked up the Bible carefully, tracing the gold letters with trembling fingers. Its pages were soft and worn, alive with her handwriting. Verses underlined in fading ink, small notes scribbled in the margins. Trust even when it hurts, and love is never wasted. As he turned another page, something small slipped out and fluttered to the floor. A folded note, yellowed by time, sealed in blue ink. His mother's handwriting. On the front were the words, "For David, when I'm gone." His chest tightened as he opened it. Her familiar handwriting filled the page. "My dearest David, if you're reading this, it means my time has come. I know your heart is heavy right now, but remember, grief is just love that has nowhere to go. Let it move through you, not destroy you. Don't let pain turn you cold." Tears blurred the words as he read. Her voice seemed to echo in his ears, gentle and steady as always. "There's something I never told you," the letter went on. "When you were a little boy, I made a promise to God. I told him if he let me raise you well, I'd never ask him for anything again. And he did. You grew into everything I ever prayed for. Kind, strong, stubborn, and full of heart. But I've kept a secret from you, one I can't carry anymore." David's breath caught. "When your father left, I told you he abandoned us. That wasn't true. He didn't leave because he stopped loving us. He left because he was sick. I hid the truth because I wanted to protect you from pain. But I see now that truth heals more than lies ever could. Your father died loving you. He wrote to you every year. I kept every letter. You'll find them in a box beneath my bed. Read them when you're ready." David's hands shook as he dropped the Bible and knelt beside the bed. There, under a blanket of dust, was a small wooden box. The lock clicked open easily. Inside were dozens of envelopes, each one addressed to him. His heart raced as he opened the first. "Dear son," it began. "Your mother says you started walking today. I wish I could have seen it. I'm fighting to get better, but if I don't make it, know this: I'll always be proud of you." David read another and another. Each letter was a thread of love stretched across years of silence. Birthday messages, dreams, and stories from a man he thought had walked away. By the time he reached the bottom of the box, he was sobbing. Not from anger anymore, but from understanding. Beneath the last letter lay one final envelope in his mother's handwriting. "For when you're ready to forgive me." Inside, it read, "David, I know hiding the truth was wrong. I carried that guilt every single day. But I wasn't strong enough to tell you. I thought I was protecting you from heartbreak. I see now that I only built walls around your heart. Please don't let my mistakes make you afraid to love. Don't inherit my fears. Don't let my silence define your life." Her words were smudged where her tears had fallen while writing. "If you're still reading, look inside the box again. There's a key hidden beneath the letters. Use it to open the drawer of my desk." He found the key, opened the drawer, and inside lay an old cassette labelled, "Play me when you're ready." His hands trembled as he placed it into her old recorder and pressed play. Static filled the air, and then her voice. "Hey, sweetheart," she said softly. "If you're hearing this, I guess my body gave up before my heart did. I wanted you to hear me one last time. You've always been my reason. The reason I smiled through exhaustion. The reason I kept believing when everything else fell apart. Promise me you'll keep living, David. Don't let love die with me. Don't let your heart turn to stone. I'll be there. In every sunrise, every act of kindness, every time you choose love over fear." He broke. The sound of her voice filled the room, alive and warm. And for a moment, it felt like she was sitting right beside him. When the tape stopped, silence returned, but it didn't feel empty anymore. He held the recorder to his chest and whispered, "I hear you, Mom." That night he wrote a letter of his own. "Mum, I forgive you. I forgive everything. And I hope wherever you are, you can forgive me too, for not understanding sooner." He placed it inside the Bible, right where her letter had been, and whispered, "Thank you for leaving love for me to find." Days passed, and something inside him began to shift. He started visiting her old church, not to pray, but to sit in the stillness where her presence felt closest. One evening, an old woman approached him and said, "You must be Mary's boy." She used to say, "My son doesn't believe in miracles, but one day he'll live one." And maybe this was that miracle. Not her returning, but him finally learning how to live again. Months later, he repaired her piano and began to play once more. The same melody she used to hum while cooking filled the house again. On her birthday, he visited her grave with one of his father's letters. He laid it beside her flowers and whispered, "You both tried to protect me in your own way." I understand now. The wind stirred softly, and one of the pages fluttered onto the grass beside her name. As he turned to leave, the sky blushed gold, and for just a second, he could almost see her smile in the sunlight. When he came home that night, the Bible lay open on his table, though he hadn't touched it. The verse highlighted in her handwriting read, "I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you." He smiled, tears falling quietly, and whispered, "You did, Mom. You really did." And for the first time in years, peace didn't feel like something lost. It felt like home, like love had simply changed form and come back to stay.